Yo, yo, you hear the voice?
Can hear your voice, we just can't see your handsome face.
We got to start the video.
Oh!
Keith, what's happening?
What's up, guys? What's up?
Keith, one time, big time.
Yeah, yeah.
What's up, man? You good?
Nah, we good, man.
Where are you? Where are you now?
I mean, I'm outside of my cafe spot. I'm trying to get my breakfast on. I'm trying to get my my smoothie, man. They'll bring it out to me. They'll bring it out to me. I told the lady I had
about food. Tell me about your chicken. I mean, you're dropping a little chicken special. You got to be sharing love.
Man, I just found this sauce, man. I'm a sauce kind of guy, man. I found this jerk sauce. I still gotta. Next time I make it, I gotta post it. Actually, we got a different sauce at the house right now. It's an Indian spice sauce. So wifey gotta cook that up for me, and we're gonna have to test out which one's best. The company made, it comes in its own bottle, man. The company makes like 3 different kind of sauces, but that jerk chicken, man, that's one of a kind, man.
Send me some.
When I make chicken, that's 99% better than all the chicken I've ever paid for. You know something's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Send me some. You got to send me some.
For people who really want to enjoy a good meal and you want to do it at home, all it takes is that little bit of preparation. You know what I mean? You know you're gonna eat some chicken with your girl tomorrow. You just want to enjoy some nice wings with your friends and stuff like that. Just marinate them the night before. You know what I mean?
Tell me this. Just tell me this.
That long. Put them in a bowl. Put like my thing is that half. I got 1 bottle of sauce. I put half of the bottle on it overnight, and I use the other half to cook with it the day that I'm cooking with it.
Tricks of the trade, Keith. Tricks of the trade.
You know, because look, if you do all the sauce, if you put all the sauce on the chicken and then you marinate it, once when you go to cook it, the sauce is gonna cook off of it. It's gonna cook off. You know what I mean? I like it to be a little better than that.
Getting jerk chicken education.
I know, mate.
Yes, sir.
I love a bit of jerk.
That half and half, man. Trust me, man. You're gonna think you a chef just from giving it that tender loving care, that preparation. You're gonna think you a chef.
But men do that. Women don't do that. That's why I think men are better cooks than women.
Well, if you go to all the 5-star restaurants and Michelin star restaurants, there's mostly men chefs in the back. Women can throw down. But when it comes to the culinary skills, men were in the kitchen first. In France and all that, they were in the kitchen first, man. Getting them high paying jobs. We always got the dollar before them. You know what I mean? For you boys, it might have been the pounds or whatever y'all carry around, them British pounds.
Quids.
Oh, that's a little different.
Mate, you think the world top chefs, all men?
What's that?
All the world top chefs are men, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean,
or female chef actually.
I think it's some about us, the way we compete with one another, right? We compete with one another. We compete with ourselves. Mama just wanna make a plate of food and see you smile. That's all mama want. Mama just wanna make a plate of food and see you smile. But when a man is out there, man want to make sure his finger licking good. You know what I'm saying? He want to see his people out there. He want to.
Yeah, because we.
You know what I'm saying? We want all our friends to be bragging like, dang man, this boy can cook. This guy can cook.
That's true. We spend a bit more time on it. Let's get down to business anyway.
Okay.
How's life? How's good? How's things for you?
I mean, weather's good out here, man. Things are just awkward during this time for everybody, for a lot of, for me, I feel bad for the young athletes. You know what I mean? I feel bad for the kids trying to go to college who don't know what's going on with their college careers next year, but besides all that, man, for the most part, we just try to stay positive. There's been a lot of construction in the city right here. And the one thing that I've paid attention to is that construction hasn't stopped. So that's a good thing, man. We still are moving forward, preparing for the future. The city is still being built up because the last thing you want to see in a pandemic like this is for somebody who's about to be building a brand new skyrise and then say they don't have the funding to finish that skyrise, and then you got a $500 million building or $1 billion building that couldn't be completed, and somebody like that ruins economies, that ruins cities. So I'm just glad that everybody who's working in construction out here in Florida in the local downtown St. Pete region, they're here every single day, and construction's moving forward. So I believe from an American side that in the future we're gonna bounce back strong for this. That's how I feel. I feel like we're still gonna be able to move forward in a strong way.
Can I ask you a quick question before we get into boxing? What do you think of Donald Trump?
I don't care about his Twitter tweets and a lot of his personal opinions as a human being, but I do like him as a president. I've always liked him as a president.
Yeah. We said it.
Yeah, I've always liked him as a president. A lot of things that when people talk politics, they don't even know what they're talking about. The word politics means the word poly means many, and the word tick is a blood-sucking parasite. So politics is really just many blood-sucking parasites just destroying, what the people were trying to build up. They just take advantage of us a lot of times, And the first thing that Trump said when he was running is, "I'm not a politician," because he understands the word politics. He's not into politics because he's not a tick. Okay, he's not a tick. He's not into politics. He's not a bloodsucker. Okay.
Yeah.
He's a businessman. And another thing that people really don't understand about the term president, that you cannot be a president of any faction if you do not run a corporation. Okay. You cannot be a president. And how does Keith Thurman know so much about being a president of a corporation? Because when I started One Time Enterprises, when I made my name so that they didn't pay me my checks in my government name, but they did it in a corporate name, Keith Thurman had to become the president and the CEO of the corporation that I just started. So a president is a corporate term. The United States of America is a corporation, and that's why we have a president, because the president and the CEO is called a vice president. The vice president is really the CEO, but a lot of people don't know, So, I like Trump because I just feel like he's a real president. He's a real businessman that's gonna try to do good business on the behalf of America. I wasn't a big fan of things that happened in office when Barack was in there. I don't think Barack really stood up for the people. I don't think he did one thing for the black man in America. Coming from Detroit and all them children still dying, all those gunshots still happening in the city that that he was once in, and then he becomes president of America, and he doesn't really make any big changes, man. So, I think Trump made a lot of change quickly. Is it good? Is it bad? But at least he said he's going to do something, and he did it. It is what it is. I like America. I like the state America's in. I don't care about the president because that stuff, I don't let that stuff get into my head. I care about what happens after any man or woman becomes president and what happens to my lifestyle and my livelihood. So far, besides this Corona stuff, I can't complain about Mr. Trump.
Yeah.
Interesting. I hear that. I get that. I probably agree.
Life is good, baby. Life is good here in America. It's not bad. Obamacare was whack. Obamacare was whack. Like Obama ever cared. Like, come on, man.
He was just the media darling, wasn't it? The media darling wanted Obama.
Was that? The media did what?
Obama was like a media darling, he had a few famous friends, but he didn't do too much for America, did it?
He was just a face, man. He was just a face, a handsome face. He could speak well. All he did was watch JFK speeches before he got into office. That boy was watching them JFK speeches, getting ready for it, and then listening to him talk, man, he's amazing, It's easy, that's what a real politician does. They got that slick tongue, they got that slick approach. They say one thing, but they're about to make a different move. They tell you this, but they're about to make a different move. You know what I mean? I think Donald Trump is more straightforward, and I appreciate that out of a president. I know countries need to hold secrets. Not everything can be out in the limelight, but I believe at certain times to show strength, You just be on. A president should be honest and upfront with the people.
Keith, do me a favor. Turn your phone to the side, on its side. There he is, pretty devil. Go ahead. There he is. Let's talk boxing.
A bit of sport, Keith, a bit of sport for you. I've heard your golfing partners with one of my favourite fighters, Winky Wright. Who wins?
Really?
Who's winning?
Oh man, Winky got a better swing than me, man. He always had. He got more practice out there, baby. He got way more practice than me. I just picked up the game about 2.5 years ago. But I get respect out there. If he give me my handicap now, I might be able to take him. If you know anything about golf and you want a fair play, you can just approach to the tee box, tell your boys, hey man, I need that handicap, and then we can do 100 a hole. We can run it. But
won't let you play with your handicap. You've just got to play in scratch. That's
I don't play against nobody but myself. I know what I'm trying to shoot for the day. I just want to see them numbers, baby. That's all I want to see.
So what are we doing training-wise at the minute, Keith? What are you up to? What can you do?
Not much. Just some outdoor work. I've been thinking about getting our amateurs together. They've been very eager to try to get back in the gym. I've been thinking about getting a certain time to where we can get all our young people, all our kids that want to train together and just do a group run together, maybe something like that. So just keep them motivated, keep them focused, especially since these kids aren't going to school right now and stuff. They were talking about phase 3, they're going to open up gyms again. But I was telling people, when it comes to working in boxing gym, we really got to make sure that that everything is safe and it's good to go, because everything's up close. We got kids on top of kids, huffing and puffing, sweating, knocking sweat off. You know how the gym is. You know what I mean? So before we all get full blown and back to regular life, we just got to make sure things are safe. But till then, man, just boot camp, man, outdoors. You see this Florida life out here, man. Great outdoors. We can still get some work in just right out here in this Florida sun. So that's what I'm trying to do right now.
How's your hand? How's it healed?
Really nice, man. Really nice. The doc did good. The scarring on the hand is very minuscule. It feels strong. Right before COVID hit, I was getting ready to get back into a punching regimen to where we were going to do light blows and build up into heavier punching. But I wasn't able to do that full circle, but I still working on the wrist strength here, because that's the only thing that I'm really worried about, is just keeping this section in lock. But right now, what we had bones. There's a strip right here of little bones. They're called metacarpals. And my metacarpals, it actually, they not only were they hitting each other, but one went above the other like this.
Oh, damn.
And it was sticking up, medical terms, protruding. It was sticking up out of my hand. And anytime I landed a nice left hook, even on my sparring partners with 16-ounce gloves, I was cutting my days short. For the Josecito Lopez, we had minimal sparring. For Pacquiao, we had minimal sparring. We did what we could do in all of 2019. Trying, and I've seen myself push myself many times. There's been times where athletes have won Super Bowls, they've won world championships, they've won all sorts of things with a sprained knee, with a twisted ankle, with all sorts of little ailments, from football, basketball, baseball. Athletes, we've lived through it all, man. So I just thought I could live to see another day and get through it. And in the way I did, I put on one hell of a performance. I got a whole lot of a ton of respect from a lot of fans. There's fans that I lost that I got back with that performance. They thought, I don't know what they think about Keith Thurman. I'm not being able to perform. I was performing once a year. Then I performed after 22 months. And I say, people, they started hating me because I couldn't supply them the entertainment that they were looking for, because at one point I was dominating the welterweight division. And so I made them addicted to the entertainment that I was giving them. And then when I cut them off of the supply, because I couldn't supply the demand, and then I started to lose some fans. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, like I said, you love me, you hate me. Keith One Time Thurman, I'll forever be your entertainment.
Tell me, what's your? You look back at the fight with Pacquiao. That was your last fight. How do you look back on that fight? Are you okay with the decision?
You know, training sucked, man. Training sucked. My training sucked. You know.
So, did you have a problem with the decision? Did you think it was the right decision?
No, but it doesn't matter what I think. Doesn't matter, you know. I mean, in the fight, I thought it was a draw. You know, I thought I did enough for a draw. You know, I mean, to me, if one referee says I win and one referee says I lose, I was expecting that last referee to see a draw, you know. But he saw Pacquiao edge me out by 1 point. And that's where Ben Getty says, don't leave it up to the judges. And I had an opportunity in the 11th and 12th round to not leave it up to the judges, but mentally, I felt like you will not be, you know, you were not defeated. But the problem is the moment that I believe that the draw, the moment I believe I accepted that tonight will be a draw. That was the moment I lost the fight.
Is it a fight?
Because let's say I go for the knockout, but I don't get it, right? Then maybe I can get the draw from the gusto that I put in. You see? Mm-hmm. But I thought the draw was already on the table, and I accepted that as my fate. But unfortunate for me, that was not my fate, and it didn't go my way. You know? So it's a real fundamental lesson, man. There's many fundamental lessons. Don't back straight up. Trainers tell you that all the time. Watch Pacquiao Thurman round 1. When Thurman had Pacquiao in control, he backs up in a straight line for the first time. That little rabbit hops around, boom, 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 and he springs into action, catches me with some backwards momentum, and down I go. I'm winning a 10-8 round in round 1, and it gets reversed to a 10-8 favoring Pacquiao. So, you know, to me, that was a 3-point swing in the first round. You know what I mean? I don't want to get too technical. A lot of people don't get technical with boxing. I don't want to get too technical, but that's what it felt like, you know. But then I didn't want to get emotional, right? I didn't want to be like, oh, he knocked me down the first round. I got to kill him. Because we got 11 rounds. You know, we got 11 rounds. And I can be level-headed and actually come back in this fight, you know. So then a part of me says, was being level-headed not the right thing? Should you have just been emotional? And if you lose an emotional fight, you lose an emotional fight. But if he beats you, he's beating you after you're trying to kill him because you just went berserk after getting all emotional. So it's hard, man. You know, you tell fighters not to use their emotions, but sometimes emotions can be a strength. It's hard, man. I don't like analyzing this fight because I lost by 1 point. So it's annoying to me. I can talk about too many small things. 1 point is I call it it was an opinionated loss, an opinionated L. You know, I don't really accept the L. I still feel like a champion. I've been defeated in my boxing career in the amateurs on multiple different occasions. I didn't truly feel defeated. I would love a rematch to redeem myself, to go put in better work, and to just redeem my name, my reputation, get that belt back, and show everybody, you know, the true competitor of Keith One Time Thurman. Because I've won lots of tournaments when I was an amateur, but I didn't win every tournament I went to. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose some. But after I lose, I always come back harder because, you know, that's the competitor, man. Who was that boy that fell off? Who fought Marcos Maidana back in the day? Victor Ortiz. So yes. We all watched Victor Ortiz. We all watched Victor Ortiz take a major L. I didn't even take no major L. We watched Victor Ortiz take a major L to Marcos Maidana, right? This boy almost announced he's quitting boxing on national television after getting hit upside his head so hard. Oscar De La Hoya was in the background like, boy, stop. Like, don't stop, please. Oscar didn't want to listen. Like, you got to yell, like, take the mic, pull the plug. Don't let him say another word. You know what I mean? But luckily, Oscar must have said something to him after that fight because he got his heart back when he signed the contract to fight my boy Andre Berto. You know, Berto, I know Berto got the same little right hand that Maidana got. He got a right hand that can do something to you. And so Victor was going to be in problems. But the thing is, Victor came ready for the problem because he came ready to put respect on his name. So even though Victor got knocked down in that fight, he got up and he knocked down my boy Berto. And then after they were going toe-to-toe, Victor showed him, today, if you're trying to bring me that Argentinian that's trying to murder me, now you got a Haitian that's trying to handle me. He said, today, though, I'm showing my true Mexicano colors. I'm putting my real heart and soul on the line, and I'm coming back. I'm coming back strong. I believe that many fighters have that in them. You know, many fighters have that in them. It just takes something. I don't know if it's a speech from Oscar De La Hoya after the fight. I don't know what it takes for fighters, man. But they got to dig, and it's called a comeback, man. It's called a comeback. So I'm looking forward to my comeback. I know how I throw these hands, and it's going to be a beautiful one.
Keith, you mentioned about like you would like the rematch. If the rematch doesn't happen, what would be your fight of choice?
You know, honestly, right now in the pandemic state, I just want a respectable fight.
Yeah.
We put a name in there that, you know, at the end of the day, when you hear it, you're just going to be like, all right, let's watch that. Yeah, that's something. Might not be the biggest thing in the world. That's something, though.
Yeah.
Something with respect, man. Like I said, I took this little L, so it's all about keeping respect on the name. I got so many people from the Philippines. I was in LA. I got a Filipino saying he thought I won the fight, you know?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I've gained respect with that performance, but amongst the rankings, where is Keith Thurman today? What is he, number 5? Is he number 3? Is he, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to show you that I'm still arguably number 1. That L is not evidence that Keith Thurman is not arguably number 1. So I'm going to keep that argument alive.
Yeah. So what's Al Heyman saying about the rematch?
Man, let's just – first off, it's not Al Heyman. What's Manny Pacquiao saying about a rematch? What's Manny Pacquiao saying?
So you dropped it on his toes. You put that
because besides naming his dog Thurman, I ain't heard nothing after the fight. Besides naming his dog Thurman or something, I ain't heard nothing after the fight.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Come tell me to sit again.
How's it feel historically if you're looking at you're looking at your record, historically sharing the ring with Manny? How's that feel? How do you look back?
It's a dream come true, man. So much hard work, so much dedication, man. So many years of my childhood, that I didn't live a regular childhood. You know, I wasn't a regular 10-year-old boy. I wasn't a regular 12-year-old, 14-year-old boy. You know, we were focused, man. We were focused. It's beautiful, man. It's really beautiful for me. I had this conversation a few days ago with some locals here in the Berg, and looking back at it, man, I'm done. If Keith Thurman had to be done today, I did it all. You know, I did it all.
Was you surprised at how sharp he was, how fresh he was?
A little bit. You know, the most amazing thing about Manny Pacquiao is his speed. You know, over the power. You know, the power. I'm a power puncher. I've been in with power punchers. You know, he's a very powerful guy for that little package. That's one of a kind. But obviously, he's not the heaviest hitting welterweight in the welterweight division. But yeah, man, his speed at that time, and then his size. To be honest, man, it's not easy. Like once when he put his hands up, I'm like, where's the target, man? It's like this little box.
Small.
I'm boxing this little box that's moving around. You know, like Pac-Man after he gets the little pill. You know what I mean? Those calves that he has on him, man, them really make him spring into action. Those are some powerful muscles he has there, and everything just triggers fast. He's lightweight. We already know that lightweights move faster than heavyweights and things of that nature. So, I expected the speed to be there, but you know, at his age, at 40, The speed was really impressive. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Let's touch on Errol Spence. He said he beat a prime Mayweather. What do you think of that?
You know, it's hard. You know, it's hard to throw a throwback and say I'm gonna beat a prime anybody, right? Like, you know, I'm gonna beat a prime this, I'm gonna beat a prime that. You know, that's a tough statement to swallow, because a lot of times when young talent comes up, it's young talent beats the old talent, and that's good enough. If Errol Spence beat Floyd Mayweather today, if he beats him at 55, that's good enough. You know what I mean? Because no one ever did it anyways. You know what I mean? But Floyd at his prime, this is what I like to say, man. You know, when Pacquiao's fast, Floyd's faster, bro. And that, just watching Floyd fights from when he was in his prime. First off, he wasn't a welterweight in his prime. He was not a welterweight in his prime. There was never a time in his at 147 was he truly in his prime. Welterweight wasn't his prime time. So that's why I don't really like statements like that, man. But at the end of the day, man, I just think that Errol would always have some problems with Floyd. You know, I've heard the rumors about what they did when they were sparring, this and that, you know, but when Floyd is ready for a fight, his 12-round conditioning, and then the way he likes to manipulate the situation in the ring, I just see it being a challenge, not one that he wouldn't be able to overcome possibly, because I believe towards the later end of Floyd Mayweather's career, he just didn't want to be in the ring with Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, or Errol Spence. It doesn't matter if he could beat us or not. It just really wasn't the kind of fight that would have been good for him at that time of his career, because it would have been one of the biggest challenges. We are not Canelo. We are not that slow. We are not that slow. We are not Canelo, okay? And we're just as young, just as hungry, just as willing to get up in your grill, especially somebody like Sean Porter, who might be headbutting you half of the time in the fight anyways, you know? So those kind of fights just weren't good for a Floyd Mayweather towards the end of his career. But Keith Thurman goes and fights Danny Garcia, and Floyd is somewhere in the club, and he say, well, I'll fight Danny if he beats Thurman. Why you want to fight Danny if he beats Thurman? Because Danny looks like Canelo, flat-footed and slow, you know? So, you know, it already is what it is, man. So I feel him if he's saying, you know, like, he'd get at Floyd because, one, he already did it a little bit, and then two, you know, I just feel like he really never wanted to talk about any of us at the end of his career anyways.
Yeah. Keith, there was something I wanted to ask you. I know Rich is the same. Both massive Winky Wright fans. You said about, you know, the great support you got from St. Petersburg. Did you feel like when Winky retired, and obviously you're coming through, I imagine that you looked up to Winky Wright. Did you feel like you was carrying St. Pete's on your shoulders to give him that fighter again? You know, to give him those big nights, put St. Pete's back on the map?
I love it, man. I love the lineage from my gym. Winky Wright, Jeff Left Hook Lacey, and now your boy Keith One-Time Thurman. You know, there's not too many gyms in the whole world that can claim that multiple world champions have come out of one building, you know. And truth be told, I would love to keep our St. Pete legacy going with the new generation. You know, I hope we got another young rising star. Maybe there's some young kid, you know, that I haven't even met yet that can be a superstar out here. But at the end of the day, it's just great, man. If you got a love for the sport, then you got to love the history involved with that sport, you know. So for me to just keep representing our gym and our gym's history and holding it down for the Tampa Bay area. We had Antonio Tarver as a world champion from Tampa Bay. It's just great, man. All the fans, you know, when I bring fights back into Tampa, it's a very rewarding sensation for me when it comes to the history with like me and Wink. And back in the days, you know, he didn't sit down a lot one-on-one. He didn't drop a lot of father clock knowledge to me that much when I was younger. But being around him and being in the ring with him, he taught me more physically than he could ever do verbally anyways.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. And then watching his career because I got to spar Winky right before he beat Mosley twice. So I was with Winky in his heyday. I was 16 years old getting hit by the triple jab.
Yeah.
Not one jab, not two jabs, but all three jabs were hitting you, boy. Winky didn't miss. Go watch the Tito fight. He made Tito Trinidad look like a bobblehead.
Remember it well. Remember it well.
Yes,
the guard was tight, the jab was out.
So I just love my gym and its history, man. Winky taught me defense. He taught me composure. He taught me accuracy, because when he threw that jab, he wasn't just throwing it to hit you, but he knew he was hitting you in the nose. He knew he was hitting you in the forehead. You know, he knew where he was hitting you, man. So, I mean, he taught me that. And then Jeff Lacey, the way he would hit the heavy bag, the way he would shadow box, and the way he would want to knock you out with that left hook, man. I was around speed, power, and technique.
Yeah.
I was around explosive offense and strategic defense. So if you see a little bit in my fight, you see a little bit of both attributes, because I've admired, I admired the strength of one athlete, and then you take Winky, who's not that strong, but you put him in the ring with these strong fighters, and he stands right in front of them with his hands up, like, what you gonna do to me? Because I protect yourself at all times. I'm protecting myself at all times. So what you gonna do to me? And that was a different approach of boxing, that you can win without being the strongest man in the room, because I grew up being the strongest man in the room, you know.
How does the welterweight division play out now? And if it's not Manny Pacquiao, who'd you like to fight?
Well, you know, I would like I said, a really respectable fight, one that gets everybody to nod their head and agree with me that this is a respectable fight. And then after that, I just want the rematch or anything bigger. Like if I can get the Errol Spence fight and have an opportunity to get that WBC title back in my hands, you know, that would be a lovely event, you know. And I just see that as one of my next major paydays anyways. That's one of the next major big fights in the welterweight division, unless if he was to go share the ring with Crawford.
Yeah. Spence or Crawford? Who's your pick there, Keith? Spence or Crawford?
I give it to Spence, you know.
Size?
I do size. He's just a true welterweight. And I just don't know what what Crawford's got for Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, you know, Errol Spence. I just don't know what he has for those guys right now, you know. It's just a big question mark. It's not that he can't do his thing. He just has to do it and prove it to the world. It's not. I can't say, you know, oh, everyone's scared of Crawford. Everybody's scared. That's not the truth, and it never has been, never will be.
When are you hoping to be back in the ring?
You know, with this whole pandemic, man, and just seeing how sports is going to come back in general, I'm shooting for November, man. October, November.
Will you be okay for November? Everything good? Everything physically? Everything?
Yeah,
everything...
I think it's a great date. You know, I was actually ready to come back in September, but because of this pandemic, I said, you know what, bump it. Give me more time. Let's just do November. I'm only doing one fight this year, so it don't matter when the paycheck comes. I'm only doing one fight. It is what it is.
They're talking about fights being behind closed doors without a crowd. Would you do that?
Get my paycheck, baby. You know what I'm saying? Go get my paycheck, baby. You know, there's still gonna be a grown man to punch in the face. There's still gonna be somebody there. You know what I mean? And whoever that person is, they were willing enough to sign a contract versus me, baby. And I'm gonna take that offensive. You know, because like I said, man, I'm coming back. This is my comeback time. I'm coming back. I'm like, whoever's next, you my explanation point, man. I'm making a statement out of you. Whoever's next, you my statement. Believe that. But I gotta run, man. This thing got me going to the toilet, baby. It's all organic. I gotta go. Woo.
See you later.
Take care.
Take care.
One love, man. Nice talking to you, boys.
Bye-bye.
Y'all stay safe.
Hope you enjoyed Blackout Barber Show. Please like and subscribe. And if you've got any complaints, remember my name's Richard Potson. Just saying, that's Jones.